Changes from Visa mean Americans will carry fewer physical credit and debit cards in their wallets. And we're not just talking about the number of cards you'll be carrying with you on your mobile or physical wallets, but also how you interact with them and how you pay for goods and services. In fact, Visa just wrapped up their annual payments forum, which took place in San Francisco from May 14th through 16th, where a bunch of Visa leaders shared insights, trends, and showcased the latest innovations coming out of Visa. And once these new features start to be rolled out and adopted by people nationwide and worldwide, the ways we will interact with our credit cards will be forever changed. Let's dive into some of the details right now. We'll begin here with an article written by AP News because they do a great job of making a lot of info super succinct. So let's scroll down a bit here and I'll pull out some of the main things and we'll do some commentary along the way. Your wallet may soon be getting thinner. Visa on Wednesday, which was May 15th, 2024, announced major changes to how credit and debit cards will operate in the US in the coming months and years. The title of this article already hinted at the fact that these new features coming forth soon could mean Americans will be carrying fewer physical cards in their wallets, but even more interesting here is that the features could make the 16-digit credit or debit card number printed on every card increasingly irrelevant to use. To quote here from Mark Nelson, Visa's global head of consumer payments, he said, "I think with these features, we're getting past the point where consumers may never need to manually enter an account number ever again." And if you ask me, I would love that, because even doing simple checkout experiences online where I've got to manually type in those 16 digits, the expiration date, the CVV code, and whatever else they need for verification can be quite a hassle. Now check this out right here. The biggest change coming for Americans will be the ability for banks to issue one physical payment card that will be connected to multiple bank accounts. That means no more carrying, for example, a Bank of America or Chase debit card, as well as their respective credit cards in a physical wallet. Americans will be able to set criteria with their bank, such as having all purchases below $100, or with a certain merchant applied to the debit card, while all other purchases can go on the credit card. Now we got to talk about reality here. The US tends to get payment option solutions and new tech a lot slower than a lot of other countries. For example, those EMV chips that we have on so many cards where you insert to pay, those were in Europe well before we started using those and adopting that feature in the US. So this type of feature that we're talking about now with this article has already been used in Asia and will be available this summer in the US. Moreover, this is not just about making things more convenient or perhaps giving access to more of our data to the bigger payment companies, but also for security. Look at what we've highlighted here. Some of Visa's new features are in response to online payments fraud, which continues to increase as more countries adopt digital payments. The San Francisco-based company estimates that payment fraud happens roughly 7 times more often online than it does in person. And there are now billions of stolen credit and debit card numbers available to criminals. Then moving down a little bit further on the page, we see an interesting quote here that gives us a bit more of a visual of how we can expect some of this to actually surface itself to us, along with this ad by Range Rover Sport, not sponsored by this video. Anyway, look at the blue highlighted font. The Apple Card, which uses MasterCard as its payment network, does not come with a printed 16-digit account number. And Apple Card users can request a fresh credit card number at any time without having to dispose of the physical card. Now, I don't have my physical Apple Card with me. I'm actually traveling right now, but thanks to Apple's website, we can see here, this is what the Apple Card looks like for those of you who may not have paid much attention to it. There's the front, there's the back, and nowhere do you see the 16-digit account number, expiration number, CVV code, none of that. It's a very clean card, so if you were to drop that and lose it, at least immediately some of the sensitive info would not be exposed to anybody. But here's the cool thing. Again, I don't have my Apple Card with me, but I can still use it to make payments online or even in person. Here are a couple little slides that I made for you with screenshots from my own Apple account because I got it right on my phone. Going from left to right here. If I wanted to get my 16-digit card number and the expiration date and the CVV code, I open up the Wallet app on my phone, click the three-dot icon there in the top right. From the submenu that drops down, I select Card Details. From the next page, I then scroll down a tiny bit, click on Card Information, and then I got all my info, which I've blurred out for all of you, right there. I can just copy and paste it wherever I want to. Now, switching over to the actual release here from Visa themselves. By the way, all these links to what I'm going to show you next will be down below in the description. So for the stuff we've covered and stuff I'll just mention, but it's beyond the scope of this video, you can click on these links below and dive into it as deep as you want to learn more. Okay. The new products and services Visa unveiled today, which will begin to roll out later this year, 2024, include Visa Flexible Credential. I actually find that the little summary paragraphs here aren't that great, so we'll actually click on this link and open up the actual broader explanation. One card to rule them all. Debit or credit? No problem. In the near future, flex between funding sources from one credential. This is cool, and the actual graphic kind of explains the whole concept here. Actually, you know what? So let's go to the animation. I opened up that up too. So here's an example. You're going to Costa Rica. All right, you're buying your flight here, $750. How do you want to pay for it? Let's play this clip right now. You activate the flex option here, and now you can see, let me pause it, pay with credit, pay in 4, which means basically 4 equal installments. So buy now, pay later, which is pay in 4, and then pay with points. So whether you have $450 in rewards, or you want to break it up into 4 installments, or pay with your credit card. Another option they could add here would be a debit card, and you can scroll and adjust. Hey, I want this much to go to this card, and then use another funding source to cover the remaining balance or whatever it is. Of course, we don't have all the details yet, but you can see here with a single card imaged here in blue, ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, you can then flip on, or flex as they call it, from one funding source to another to cover a purchase. So now we're going to do here, pay with credit, and then boom, the purchase is made. And it shows you all your other options. So you can see like your checking account would have a balance of $27K. You have your available installment total limit of $2,000, or your Visa credit card and how much you have there available to spend as well. So it shows you all that's available to you in a single location, and you choose from a single card product how you want to divide up your payment. Second feature on the list, tap to everything. The first bullet point is tap to pay, allowing any device to now be a POS device. And no, that is not piece of sheet, that is point of sale. So if I own a business like a bakery, you come in to buy goods from me, we could actually tap our phones together and your payment could be issued, rather than me having to have a separate point of sale terminal that you have to interact with. Part B, tap to confirm. Easily authenticate identity when shopping online. We'll have to see how that actually plays out and rolls out when that time comes, but just like when we have like downloading apps from the App Store, you might have to double tap the button to confirm your purchase. There might be some sort of tap to confirm your identity with additional authentication. That'll be really simple for the consumer standpoint. Number 3, tap to add a card. Enhances security when adding a card to to a wallet or app. Right now, whenever I add a new card to my mobile wallet, I've got to actually take a picture of it, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Usually it's pretty good. I'd say 90% or better most of the time, but even still, I can just tap my card and then boom, all the info that it needs to work on my mobile wallet will be added just with a single tap, which will be great. And then lastly, tap to P2P, which is person to person or peer to peer. This will allow you to send money between family and friends. So like, for example, we use Venmo as an example right now, where you got to type in a bunch of stuff and then send it electronically. Imagine just being able to, again, touch your phones together and issue payment right there on the spot. Then third, and the last major point we'll cover in this video as it relates to credit cards, is the Visa Payment Passkey service. Actually opening up this tab here will be more helpful because there's a paragraph that really brings this to life. As I zoom on in, Visa Payment Passkey service binds your account credential with your device, enabling you to use the biometrics you use to unlock your device for payment authentication. Enroll once via checkout on your mobile banking app in the future, and then pay with a smile, for example, everywhere Visa is accepted online, across any device or online service. No need to worry about passcodes or authenticator apps for each checkout experience. Yep, our identities are increasingly becoming more digital, for good and potentially for a bad too. But again, this will hopefully cut down on fraud, make payments a lot more seamless and easy to do going forward, because nobody likes to shop online and have their numbers compromised and then fraudulent purchases coming through. So if we can start to integrate biometrics in some sort of privacy controlled way to help facilitate better security and ease of payments, then that will be a good thing. Though there will likely be a dark side to all of this data sharing as well. Concluding this article here, you'll also find sections for Pay by Bank, Visa Protect for A2A payments, which is account to account, and then also stuff about tokenizations here with data tokens for your payments. So again, that's more of the banking side. I'll let you all read that if you are interested, with the links below in the description to all of this great stuff. By the way, if you want to learn more about any of the cards mentioned in this or in other videos, check out my site, markscreditcards.com/offers, to see a bunch of them organized by category. That way it's easy for you to find the ones that interest you the most. I'll see you all in the next one.